Hello everyone and welcome to today's video.
For today, I want to talk about something that doesn't really get a lot of coverage, and I'm probably going to cover this more in depth over on Living Blind blog at some point in the future. So if you're not already subscribed to that, I did post the very first video that I posted on there on my YouTube channel. Check out the community tab if you haven't already done so. But anyway, I don't know what the link for my Living Blind blog channel is, so you'll go find that video. Anyway, moving on. But today I want to talk about blind pension. Or not blind pension. Well, yeah, blind pension, but in general guardianship. Now, I have a friend who is in guardianship. I am going to spare you all the details because this is not my story, and maybe I can get her to do a video with me at some point. If you guys want that, I will let her know. So I know that guardianship is a horrible, horrible thing because she has shared stories with me and articles where guardians have taken people's money and every other aspect of their life away from them. Like, they literally have control over nothing. And I say that I am totally against guardianship. I think it should be abolished. I don't think it should exist anywhere in the United States. There's no reason to have a guardianship over anyone. If they're dying, you have a power of attorney. Like, get that. You don't need a guardianship. But anyway, what I was saying is that I was literally on the call with a lady that was supposed to help me fill out the paperwork for a blind pension. At least that was my understanding. So she calls me and she's like, okay, well, I have to mail you this packet of papers. And I was like, okay, but can't you just help me fill it out and like email it to me or something? And then I can just sign it and send it back. Like, I could totally do that, you know, it's doable. And she was like, well, we can't do that. Do you have anybody sighted who can help you? First of all, don't ask a blind person whether they've had someone sighted who can help them, because 99% of the time the answer is going to be no, even if the answer is yes. The only time the answer is going to be yes is someone who's newly blinded who doesn't know that you can actually say no and force people to help you. Okay? So that question should be tossed out the window, like, from the get-go. Like, you should never ask a blind person this question. Like, don't assume that they have parents. Don't ask them about parents. Don't ask them about siblings. If they're the ones calling you, they're the ones having the issue. And unless they specifically tell you, hey, I have someone, then don't ask the question. And second of all, if I had someone sighted, do you really think that I would be calling you, random lady who sounded like she was 70? I mean, seriously, do you think that I would be calling some random lady that I didn't know? Because I certainly would never do that. And third of all, don't tell somebody that they should go into guardianship. That is not cool. You don't know the harm and the injury and the mental health issues that you have when you are in a guardianship. You have no idea. Don't inflict that pain on someone. Don't do it. I am just really upset now. I can't believe that I would be told basically to go to the courthouse and get a guardianship. It's called something else in the state of Missouri. I don't remember what it's called. But that's what I was basically told to do because I don't have a sighted family member who can help me fill out the paperwork. I do, but why should I use them? Like, it's not their job to sit there and fill out things for me, you know? They're my family. It's not their job. You're the ones working for the agency. You're the ones that have the paperwork. You should have to help people fill it out. And if you can't help people fill it out, then you should have it in a format so that blind people can fill it out, and then nobody would have to call you. And your workload would be so much easier. I don't understand why there's all this bureaucracy. Like, why can't the forms be in accessible PDF? And I don't mean half the forms. I mean all of them. Why can't they be in accessible PDFs or Word documents so that blind people can fill them in and turn them into you? Because the truth was, if the forms to fill out blind pension were that accessible, I wouldn't have made this phone call to begin with. And the only reason that I made this phone call is the lady from the state told me they'll help you fill it out. Well, you know what? If I wanted the help you were offering, I would have went to my local family services office, which is what I did last time, and asked them questions like, why do I need to call you and ask you questions about questions that's on the paperwork when I could just go to my local family services office? Like, that is not the reason that a blind person would be calling you. Okay? A blind person is calling you in that capacity in order so that you will help them fill out paperwork. They're not calling you to be like, this question on page 59 on line 5, what does it mean? I mean, sure, some people might call you for that, but that's not going to be most blind people, and you should never assume that that's the only job that you can perform. It's really dumb. And I have literally never encountered this before in the state of Missouri, and I am thoroughly ashamed that someone from a blindness-related office or who deals with blindness on a daily basis would just assume that a blind person has someone sighted living with them who can fill out paperwork, and that they would want to be under something like a guardianship. Nope. Stop guardianship, abolish guardianship, dissolve guardianship, whatever you have to do, make guardianship illegal, pass all the federal laws, pass all the state laws. Let's make guardianship completely illegal to do, because all it does is destroy lives. My friend is completely mentally devastated because she was in a guardianship for so many years. Guardianship is never the answer for anything. Unless the question is, what lets a person have control over the person's autonomy, finances, mental health, medical health, etc., and get paid for it? Then the answer is guardianship. Guys, can we start a petition? Can we email our senators? Can we email our representatives? Can we do whatever? Can we just run for office? Can somebody abolish guardianship, please? This should not be the answer that I was given. Nobody should get this answer. Nobody should be told that they have to go under guardianship just because they have a disability. I'm blind. I have 2 college degrees. And I was told to go under a guardianship just because I don't have somebody to fill out paperwork for me. And it should not be happening. I should not have to deal with this. My friend under guardianship should not have had to deal with the amount of mental stress and whatever else she has from the time that she was under guardianship. Her guardian had full control over her life, and that's not fair. The question should not be, guardianship. You could go under guardianship. Will you go under guardianship? The question should be, will you abolish guardianship? And yes, I said abolish. Get rid of it completely. The question should be, how can I help you fill out this paperwork? What would be the best method? I really hate government bureaucracy. For this reason, 99% of their paperwork is not accessible to people like me. And we have to fight, 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 and then we have to lie. And then we have to lie some more, and then we have to lie again. Just to get the help that we want. And it's stupid. Nobody should be under the fear that if they say the wrong thing to the wrong person, that person is going to say, well, you should just be under a guardianship. You should have a guardian. I have lived with this fear for years, ever since I found out about guardianship. And today, it finally happened. Somebody finally told me that. And it's not right. Guardianship should not exist. The only thing that should exist is power of attorney and medical power of attorney, and that should only be a thing when you literally are not capable of making medical decisions for yourself. Meaning, if you have some mental capacity to the point where you can't tell a doctor what's going on with you, or what you need, or whatever, and examples of this would be like dementia or Alzheimer's, then by all means, yes, power of attorney, medical power of attorney. Otherwise, no. I am not mentally incapacitated just because I am blind. Blindness does not make you mentally incapacitated, and I wish everyone who thought this got fired from their jobs. And that's my honest to God opinion. Because if you think this, then you suck at your job. I don't care what your job is. If you think this, you suck at it. Especially if you're in the blindness field and your job is literally to help people who are blind on a daily basis. Abolish guardianship. That's all I have for you. Be sure and like my Facebook page, subscribe if you're brand new, ring that notification bell, make sure it's set to all notifications, leave a comment if you have a question, idea, suggestion, whatever. Like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Odyssey, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys. Abolish guardianship. Forgot to add this in the video, but right after I noped out of guardianship, the lady asked me how I paid my bills. You wouldn't ask this of your sighted friends. Why would you ask this of blind people, especially ones that you don't even know? And if you're still against guardianship, I want you to think about this. Think about how you would feel. At some point in your life, you are going to become blind or have another disability. Do you want to be under a guardianship?